Chelsea Wynn, and this is the Ironic Pod, where two complete strangers wound up business partners, purpose mates, and best friends in a matter of months.
We like to have real life conversations about our healing journey and how we fell into alignment with our purpose.
Good job.
Thanks.
That was the second time, but that's okay. It was better than the first time when we did it 15 times. Anyways, what's up, Nika? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Mm-hmm. What's the word?
What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? Listen to a podcast or a song?
Podcast.
A podcast?
I watched the Nice and Neat episode that dropped.
I didn't. What is it about?
There's something about communication.
I think I did watch that.
I don't know if I finished it though. I started on the bike and then I was on my workout. So
Yeah.
But anyway, it was good just hearing from men's perspectives. So, you know, I feel like when we're in relationships and we see how our body like we can feel ourselves upset, but they put it in perspective that they actually get things. They, as in the specific men, not overgeneralizing, but they actually got insecure, like anxious when their partner gets that little closed off feeling because they can't read the mind. And I don't know, I haven't been in like a serious relationship in a while, but I was reflecting on like how I used to purposely do that, and now I'm like I've actually gotten like a lot better communication. So it's just interesting to hear from a men's perspective on that.
Yeah, no, that was a really good episode. I think I ran it back like a time and a half. You know, I was I'd be having to run it back.
Right.
No, but that's enough. That's enough.
Right.
No, it was really interesting hearing your perspective on that. Yeah, any songs? Any sermons?
Can't think of any on the top right now.
Yeah.
I have watched and I have listened to music, but
then,
that's the only thing that stood out for me this week.
I've been podcasting too. I've been into your favorite aunties.
Sent it to me.
Yeah, I did send it to you. Did you watch it? Period.
It wasn't because I wasn't interested in doing it. I was just telling a lot of stuff.
It was so good. I mean, I watched that one because I found him on TikTok, and I was like, "Ooh, that really resonates. I want to watch the episode." And so I watched the episode, and of course, I ended up like 10 episodes deep. And I love them. First of all, they're hilarious. Mm-hmm. I was like, "Yo, that is so funny that they just said that." But they definitely sound like somebody's auntie. Yeah, like they be cracking little auntie jokes, and it's like that's not funny, but it's funny.
Right.
You know the
it's
way
funny
that they said
you
it.
Find it funny.
Yes, but no, they were talking. I couldn't even tell you what episode it was, but they be talking basically about what we be talking about.
So
healing, dating. Yeah. I don't know how old they are though. They look like they might be a little bit. I shouldn't say that. They seem to be a little bit more wise than us.
I'm pretty wise, I like to say.
They seem a little bit older than us.
Right. A little more seasoned.
A little more seasoned. But yeah, no, they be sharing a lot of wisdom. They be talking about God a lot, and they're walking faith and dating. They're both single, and they were talking about dating, finding love in the church.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they were like, God ain't finna give you somebody that you're not physically attracted to, and I ain't seen nobody that look good in the church. I was like, dang, all right. But yeah, your favorite aunties podcast. That's what I've been into lately. I ain't really been into no songs. I've been listening to like worship music lately.
Yeah, I feel like I've kind of been the same.
Worship music?
Yeah, that's like I know last week specifically I was more heavy in sermons. And this week, I mean, it's only Wednesday, so I guess I haven't had much of a week.
Well, since last Wednesday.
Yeah. Last Wednesday was a lot of sermons lately. I did watch the Dear Future Wifey episode.
Did you? I didn't watch it yet.
Not that one. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, what was it?
With the guy, and he was talking.
Oh, that's what you were just talking about today.
Yeah. Basically, he just kind of opened up about his traumas growing up and how he saw after the fact that he did some damage in his marriage, where the source of that pain was coming from. And just seeing a man like be that vulnerable with another man in front of the world, you know, like it was very emotional. Definitely. But it was just interesting to hear a man like open up about something that was so traumatic, and I appreciated that for sure.
That's always wild, anyways, to hear a man open up. It's one thing to hear a woman open up, but when a male, not even just to be open and vulnerable, but to actually be self-aware and know what he's experiencing or know why he's experiencing it, Whew.
And then righting the wrongs that hurt caused in other people's lives, like that's respectable.
Yes, it is. Whew. Say it. Ooh, we love a self-aware man.
What are we talking about today?
Child, I don't know. I don't know. Last episode.
I remember last episode we were like, man, what could happen in a week? I don't know.
Gosh, yes, I remember you saying that.
Well, I found out what happened in a week.
Man,
I got hit with every possible insecurity that I thought was dead.
I felt that in my chest just now.
Everything.
Everyone. Ones that I thought were long gone.
Ones that I was like, well, I am healed, check.
Yeah.
And they surfaced.
Yeah.
And I know we talked briefly, I think it was the other day, maybe yesterday. Who knows? Because what is time nowadays?
I don't know.
But we were talking about how it's really ironic when you find yourself get into a healed place and then you have insecurity surface.
Yeah.
Because one, when you're getting to a healed place and you're walking into a new season of life or a new chapter, I've realized that there's a lot of emotions all at once. And it's very, very hard to sort that out when you're still walking in it.
Yeah.
It's easy to reflect on it.
For sure.
But in real time, it's very difficult for me, at least, to navigate my emotions and be like, well, what am I feeling?
Right.
And this week, I realized what I was feeling.
Yeah.
Your girl is scared.
As hell. Terrified.
Terrified.
Well, and that's why we decided to do a part 2, because when we ran back part 1, I was thinking, I don't know, something ain't sitting right with this episode. And not that the episode was bad. There was definitely a lot of insight in it. But I realized I hadn't taken a second to figure out what I really was dealing with at that very moment, you know. And that's why afterwards, when I ran the episode back, I was like, oh, wait, there's something deeper there to that. And so when I started thinking about it, I have a whole list of things that I was like, oh, wow, I didn't even realize that's what I was feeling in the moment.
Right. You trying to go through them?
No, gosh, not really.
I could start it. Listen. So last week's title was, You Want Me to Do What? And I'm still in the season of, you want me to do what?
Yeah.
I've already opened up, and we both opened up about having a relationship with God. And so I can hear him tell me assignments that I have to do. And they're uncomfortable.
For sure.
Your girl was at the bottom of her high school class, and now I'm riding a college class. For first generation college
student. That's like, a huge thing for real.
But that's a great place for imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
When you go from the bottom and now you're over here like, well, I know how unprepared I was for college when I went. How can I make it easier for someone younger? That part's easy, but then it's like, there is a standard working in like higher ed where unless you have the degree to back it up, you're not really qualified type mentality. And so I'm like, dang, I don't have the degree. Like, I have a bachelor's, but I don't have the master's or the doctorate that would show that I'm an expert in this. But I have the experience. I have the life experience. I have the rapport with the students and everything like that. So that's kind of what I've been using to combat that imposter syndrome. But I didn't realize how deeply rooted imposter syndrome was. And I like to go deep, so let's just go there.
Let's go.
I realized that the imposter syndrome comes from being one of the few in my family to actually go bigger. You know, and when there's not many people that pave the way and you have to for others, it's terrifying. Because it's like, one, I feel the weight of all y'all watching me. While I'm also trying to convince myself that I can do this. And it's like, just, I don't know. It's just, it hits something different when you realize, like, I'm doing something so monumental in my family. By setting a role, like being an example and being a role model. And you really do have to fake it till you make it. Especially in a season of unknown. Sorry, I had a vent.
No, thank you for that. I agree. And I think the thing that's been hurt, I've obviously am in a similar, experience at the moment, but I've found the hardest part for me when it comes to that is they can't believe in me the way that I see it or the way that I'm trying so hard or fighting like hell to believe in myself because they don't see it the way that I see it. And how can they? You know what I'm saying? They don't understand. And I think I brought that up to you recently. This past week, I was just like, I wouldn't say the past week, the past few days, I've just been like in a funk, I guess. Like, just so, not even in a funk to where it was like depression or I just felt like out of control or anything. It was more so I just was dealing with so many different emotions at one time. Um, and I did bring it up to a couple people. I know my mom was one of them. Like, I brought it up and she just, the advice that she gave was valid advice, but I know that advice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I need. I know the answer. It's just a matter of doing the thing still, right? Like, you know, especially when it comes to having a vision of what we got going on, you know, I know what the outcome is. So it's not that I'm insecure about what's going on or how we're going to make it. It's more so, it's like when you know the outcome of going to the gym. You know what I'm saying? You know what you want the outcome to be, even if you know what the outcome is going to be, because you know you're going to stay consistent. That doesn't make every day going to the gym easier. You know what I'm saying? It's still a struggle. So I feel like that's where I'm at now. Like, nobody really fully understands exactly what I'm going through, you know, or not in my close circle anyway. So it's more so like, let's just keep quiet about it, which has brought up a lot because that's not like me, nor is that healthy.
Yeah. I feel like I always mention how it's interesting how we end up balancing each other because you're going through the season now, but I'm coming out of that season.
Yeah.
Where now people are actually watching me and seeing the fruit of my labor.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, hold up, what's going on? Because like all of a sudden you're posting videos, you have a podcast, like all these different things. It's like, I've been telling you the changes I've been going through. You just weren't listening.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not my responsibility to make you. You know, but it's, and I think that's intentional, obviously, because like it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
I'm already at that point in my life, but it is very uncomfortable and it's very unsettling when the people you've been so used to going to for support can't support you in this capacity.
Yeah.
But it's designed that way, especially as women of God.
Yeah.
Because we're not supposed to look into other people.
Right.
You know, they got us to this point. And sometimes it wasn't always the healthiest way. So we had to unlearn some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's because of stuff they've learned or they've experienced that they projected onto you, you know? So it's just like navigating like a whole lot of stuff. Like, not only consistently convincing yourself that I am this person, but also convincing yourself to let go of that person, but still pay homage to him because that person got me here.
Right.
It was the insecurities. It was the traumatic events that I've been through that really shaped me in a sense because I got a lesson out of everything that I've been through.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not. What Denzel say? I'm leaving here with something. There's an interview clip. Denzel Washington. Denzel.
I mean, I didn't know if this was from a movie or something.
He was intimidated for Oscar or something like that, and he told his mom, I don't think this was actually a podcast or something I watched recently. They mentioned it again, but he said something about like, oh, it's a sermon. The pastor that we like in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
Brian Bullock. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. He was talking about how Denzel told his mom, like, Mom, I might not be leaving here with the Oscar, but I'm leaving here with something.
There you go.
And that's the mentality that I'm kind of having to force myself.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's just so many things going on right now.
Well, and that's hard too, having to force ourselves to not even to fake it to make it, but almost like that, like reminding myself, like it's like an everyday thing, like you got it, like you're not that person anymore, or that person's gone, or like not even. It's more so reminding myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that
because we know the ways we coped before.
Yeah,
but that's not fitting the new people we are.
No, it's not. It's hurting me more by doing that. Like I. Yeah.
And you get insecure because that's surfacing again. I thought I healed myself from that.
Exactly.
And so you feel like you didn't move anywhere, or you have some kind of it's a lot.
It's been a lot.
I realized because God gave me a specific vision of how my life is going to unfold over these last few years, and now I can see that chapter of my life is coming to an end, where I'm stepping into a bigger chapter, right? And I'm realizing that it's been so long that I've been in the unknown. Yeah. Because I was chasing a vision. Right. Right. But now it feels like I'm giving the roles kind of flipped. It was like he gave me the destination that I'm going towards, and I didn't know the path to get there, but I'm getting to the destination.
Yeah.
Now he hasn't given me the destination; he's given me the path, and I just have to blindly walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when you're constantly calling me out of all of my comfort zones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Writing a college class, posting on TikTok, on social media, being on camera, like all of this stuff. It's a lot. And to be completely transparent, I don't run these episodes back because when I see whoever's talking in the camera, it's a stranger.
Yeah.
Because I've never known myself to be that way. So not feeling like you've known yourself. It's in a season. I'm in a season where it's like I could feel that I'm the truest form of myself that I've ever been in my life, and I don't know who that is.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
That is the most.
It's bittersweet. It's scary, but it's exciting at the same time because you know that I know that I wasn't supposed to be the person that I was. Like I was showing up as a half-assed version of myself, and so I'm so glad that I'm done with that. That I'm out of that season and out of that phase. But I don't quite know who this person is yet. You know,
like her.
Yeah, do I like her, and can I maintain her? Can I do this? Like, can I actually? And like I said, it's not really questions. Like it's not that I'm questioning myself. It's more so reminding myself, like. This is who you are. You might not be able to recognize yourself yet, but that's your fault, honestly. Because I was the one choosing to live as a half-assed version of myself.
Right.
Like, I'm the one who went through all those things.
And that reminded me of, I was telling you the conversation me and my work mom, hey, Melissa, we're talking about, and we were talking about how I'm ADD. I've been diagnosed with ADD, attention deficit disorder, if you don't know. But as we're, like, unpacking it, because I was like, but as I'm growing, it's like my memory is getting better. Like I'm a little sharper on stuff. Yeah, everything. I'm not on medication anymore. I haven't been on medication since I was probably 19. And she said, well, maybe you didn't really have ADD. It was just a result of traumas that you were holding up. She was like, as you're becoming more your healed self.
That's so much deeper than we just.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're healing yourself.
Yeah.
And think about it. If you grew up in trauma. Yep. You're going to be hypersensitive to anything going around you, so of course you would be lacking in attention. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like I had to have my guard up in some environments that I was in. Right. And so I'm realizing, like, I am literally healing not only my inner child, but my current version. Yeah. And it's just, it's like you're constantly moving forward while always trying to reflect. Yeah. How do you do that?
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. It's like that in a lot of aspects of our life right now. I feel like both of us. Why am I still working? That's still my favorite. It's never gonna get old. No, I feel like we're dealing with that in a lot of aspects of our life right now. Like we're dealing with a lot, honestly.
People don't even know half of it.
That's what I'm saying. Some people, that's why we needed a part 2 because we're gonna have to be open and honest because I feel like that's our job. Show up and be open and vulnerable and honest and be for real. Like. Yeah. And it wasn't that we weren't being real. I just really didn't recognize. We were
kind of like walking right at the line. I feel like we were kind of keeping it safe.
Yeah.
One, because we didn't know what we were feeling.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And to put it plainly, like I said, I'm just scared.
Yeah.
And it's not scared that I'm going to fail because I don't really believe in failure anymore. I'm realizing.
Right.
Because I feel like everything happens how it's supposed to and you're always getting something out of it. So is it really a failure?
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
A failure is you quit it.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know what I'm scared of because it's not really the unknown because the unknown's kind of exciting to me. It's just, I think it's not knowing the steps of how I'm going to have, okay, so for instance, I'm moving out of state away from my family. And it's bittersweet. I've known for a few years that I was being called to move to this place or whatever, but as I'm coming up on that deadline and everybody's like, well, you still moving? I'm over here like, I got $2 to my name, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like, how am I supposed to carry these things out?
Yeah.
Even with the class, it's like the summer semester starts now.
Right.
And I'm supposed to be proposing a class for right now.
Right. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, it's like I know my assignments and that's the only way I can not get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's just focus on what I know. Because if you focus on what you don't know, you are going to stress yourself out.
Yeah, for sure. Or if you focus on what you can't do, or if you focus on all the details of it. The how is not our business.
Literally. So my life philosophy as of these last couple of weeks has been, I planted the seed.
Yeah.
I planted the seed.
Yeah.
It's gonna come whenever it's supposed to come, and I can't rush it, and I can't slow it down.
Yeah.
I planted the seed. It's gonna bloom when it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So what can I focus on? Planting those seeds.
Right. Which is what the entire episode is about, most of it, because that's the scary part of it all. Like, especially when you have eyes on you, when people are watching, you know, and that's not just to talk about the platform, that's just in general. Like the people close to us, the people around us. I mean, my siblings are watching, my parents are watching, you know, like, and they're asking me questions based on what moves I'm making. I don't have the solid answers for that because I don't even really know. Like, I know what the outcome is. Like, I know what vision I have for the destination of it all. But as far as what I'm doing next and how I'm going to do it and how it's all going to play out, I really don't know.
We all going to be surprised.
I'm going to be shocked with y'all.
That's what I've been telling every bro. I feel like, they go, so, well, isn't so-and-so supposed to be coming back? Like, how's that going to work? I'm like, we gonna find out together.
Yeah.
We in this together. I don't know. I'm winging it with you.
Yeah.
And I feel like people assume walking with God means things are easy. I feel like we get the shittier end of the stick.
Yes.
Because he's like, oh, you trust me? Bet.
Yeah.
Bet. And you're like, do I trust you?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I know I trust him because one thing I don't do is I won't speak on God and not mean what I say. Because I feel like some people just, ooh, this is going dangerous territory, but we're here. Some people get too comfortable with one-liners that sound good in church and they don't live up to it.
Yeah.
God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Except when you experience that and you have anger in your heart for 40 years.
Yep. Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
Ooh.
Your girl's tired.
Tired. No, and when I watched the episode back, that what you said last time stuck out to me. You said that there was a point when you like cursed God, and it was, you know, it's so frowned upon and it's so like looked down upon, all these things.
I'll let him have it.
But that is one that's on my list of one of my insecurities, is really learning to be honest, not just with myself, but with God too. Because I grew up in a church in an environment where it was like, when you sin, you're wrong. When you sin, you're going to jail. And you're going to hell.
You're going to jail.
You might go to jail too. Shit. But you know, when you sin, you're going to hell, and you had to be perfect, right? You had to hit all these marks and show up as this person. And so a lot of times when I did go to God for anything, it would be almost like a front. Like I'd be like, this is who I know he wants me to show up as. And so this is who I'm going to show up as. But that's not the case. Right. You know what I'm saying? The truth of the matter is, I'd be like, God, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm struggling right now. You know,
like, hey, I am pissed.
I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm confused. I'm not understanding what's going on. Like, this is not making sense to me. Like, you're gonna have to help me out a little bit in this aspect because I'm struggling. Like,
if God is all knowing, he knows your thoughts.
Exactly.
So what you hiding for?
And this is, it goes back to the same with myself, because that's on the list too. Like hiding from myself or fronting with myself, because I would go to myself and be like, I'm going to myself as the person that I want other people to see. But in reality, I need to go to myself as me. Why are you trying to hide yourself from you as if you don't know you? That doesn't even make sense.
Which is one and the same if we take it a step deeper.
Yes, exactly. Ooh. That's on my list. I have a whole list of insecurities here that I can't believe I'm even about to speak on, because that's a whole nother level of vulnerability. Is the right now, you know. And we brought that up in last episode too. Like, I haven't really been nervous when it comes to recording episodes, because we're talking about the healing journey in our past selves. You know, like I've gotten past most of the things that we're bringing up. This is my current, like this is what I'm currently dealing with. So it's like, I don't have all the answers. I'm not positive about everything on the list. Like I'm still working through all the things
but everybody's talking about. Consistently progressing, you know, like we're never going to be fully healed. And I feel like that's a grace period or a grace area I had to learn, because I'm like, why am I still being triggered by my dad? I'm already cool with him. Like, we good, you know? Like, why do I still get pissed off anytime so-and-so does this? Because it seems like something my dad used to do. Why? Yeah. And it's like, because you experienced that for 18 years.
Yeah.
You know, you've been healed for 4.
Right.
And you don't even know the levels of trauma that you experience. Sometimes, a lot of our trauma, we always say dysfunction looks normal to us sometimes, because that's what we were raised around. But it's not normal.
No.
So when that looks like our normal, you're blinded to what you're actually traumatized by.
Yeah.
What might have been cool in your household would not fly in my household. You know what I'm saying?
For
like,
sure.
and I feel like, I mean, my favorite word is having grace for yourself because I had to learn it, yo. Like,
yeah,
I literally would be like, oh, well, don't have daddy issues anymore. Check. And it's like, no, like this stuff is deeply rooted for a reason. It's to keep you from going into the person that you're becoming. And I think I said that last episode. Like, the insecurities that I was facing, and even right now, actually, the insecurities I'm facing is trying to keep me from going into the who I'm becoming or who I know I am, but I have to show up as.
Yeah.
I always say, God gives me like a word for my checklist, and yesterday was time to shine. And I wanted to ball it up and throw it in the trash can because, like, bruh, like, I mean, I'm already making videos. Like, how much more you want me to shine? He's like, I got bigger.
Yeah.
Like, this just the training wheels.
Yeah.
This just the training wheels. Mm-hmm. What's the big wheels?
No, really.
We are
genuinely
Hummers. Like, what's going on?
Tell you right.
It's a lot. Like, and people think like, oh, well, you're good. First off, can I just get this off my chest real quick?
Yes.
I love serving people. I love helping people. Just because I have a relationship with God, one does not mean that I am closer to Him than you can be. Two, I can't ask God things that you need to be asking. He's not going to reveal it to me.
Say that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be here for peace, like to bring you peace, but at the same time, I'm going through so much trying to maintain the faith that I have.
Right.
And y'all borrowing my faith. It's like y'all always pouring a cup when I'm trying to pour a pitcher.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fill my pitcher up. So it's not an easy life walking with God. It's not an easy. And let's not dumb it down. I'm sorry.
Break it down.
Let's break it down, I guess. It might not be God to you. That is okay. You know? It is completely okay. But you know when you're not living to the best that you could be living.
Yep.
You know that. You know, like, wow, I low-key hate going to work every day.
Yeah.
I hate going home because that means I have to see my husband. Ugh. You know this stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And that goes back to being real with yourself.
Man.
You're lying to yourself.
And it's like social media convinced us to think that we have to live like that all the time, even when we're not posting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd be in the mirror like, bruh, what is going on?
Yeah.
You know, you got to, because who will?
Right.
I posted a video the other day, yesterday, and it was talking about, you know, we make so many, like, excuses for other people. Or no, we cut people out. That's what I was saying. We cut people off so easily if we're like, man, so-and-so's so negative. Like, I don't really like being around them because they just always nagging and complaining and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But we do it to ourselves 24/7.
24/7.
Around the clock. I would get tired of my own bullshit.
Listen, you preaching.
You have to get tired of it. You have to, or else you're just going to keep stepping in it. I was watching, what was it? Matthew McConaughey on his live. Oh, that was another thing. He had that whole like live event going on with 2 million people.
Yeah,
that's dope. That's dope. But he was talking about you gonna keep stepping in dog poop, and walking and cleaning your shoe off, but you're still stepping in dog poop because you keep taking the same route.
Yeah.
You know, you're just shining yourself up for what?
Yeah.
Everybody can still see you're miserable.
Yeah.
You can see you're miserable.
Yeah.
When you gonna get tired of yourself?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Your girl been up since 4, so I'm a little on edge, and I feel like I just have to be passionate because sometimes we hold your hand, and you have to step up for yourself.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Heck yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh my gosh. Heck yeah. Man. All right. Well, thank you for that.
I'm sorry. I feel.
Why are you sorry? You just spoke to a bunch of people that needed to hear that.
Yeah. My face got red. That's how you know I got passionate.
As you should. As you should. That was a word for somebody. Honestly, we got a lot of insecurities to talk about. I went through mine. Oh, that was both of them?
That was just the question we were going to talk about. Those are the insecurities. But that's just stuff that's resurfacing. I've came to peace with a lot of things because I accepted the fact that things happen how it's supposed to. As long as I get a lesson out of it, I'm cool. These are just things that are going to be ongoing things, like imposter syndrome. If I'm the first one doing this.
Yeah.
You know, being overwhelmed. This is a very overwhelming journey.
Yes,
But
it is.
imagine being overwhelmed by yourself, but then having people watching you. You know what I'm saying? And you have to save
Yes.
face. I'm not saying save face in the aspect that we were just talking about, like not keeping it real.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know that I have a lot of people relying on my faith to even believe that God is real.
Yeah.
They're watching how I move
Yeah.
in disappointment. They're watching me how I move in walking towards my purpose and who I am. That doesn't allow me a lot of grace to feel.
Right. Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and our schedules are packed.
Yeah.
So we don't really have a lot of time where we can let it out.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so it's a lot of pressure, and that's why I said the weight of eyes on me, because I'm cool with it. Like, it's I enjoy being a walking example that God is real.
Yep.
However, I need to also be seen as a human too.
Exactly.
You guys might be going through your own stuff, but you can't pile it on me just because you think I'm the safe line to God. I'm not the hotline. I don't got 911.
Nika, you're preaching.
You know, like we have to.
Oh my god!
At the end of the day, you have to help yourself out. We can only give you the guides that we did for ourselves because no one else showed up.
That's right.
We didn't have a choice.
Ooh,
I say you're gonna be the one talking this whole episode.
Child, you must have had some stuff to get off your chest because you've been preaching the whole time. We're going to church, as you should. You better say that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's been a big thing for me. It's feeling the pressure of all the eyes on me. And we talked about that a couple times because I think that's one of the ones where I felt just very misunderstood by everybody around me, and not to the point where it's like, oh, they don't understand me. Like, it wasn't nothing like that, no negative thoughts or nothing. It was more so one of those things where it was like, I need to deal with this internally. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the big ones. When it comes to the podcast and it comes to all the things that we're working on, we're at the beginning stages of it all. You know, this is episode 6. We're newbies. We're babies. We don't even really know what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we barely even know the steps that we're taking or the path that we're going or what next episode is. Like,
you're going week by week.
Literally.
We don't know what the next episode is.
We literally don't.
We exhausted our list that we bragged about in episode 1.
Yeah.
And by episode 2.
Yeah. Yeah. And because of that, we're very much at the beginner stages, and I know that. Come on. And I'm very much proud of everything that we put out. I'm proud of our progress. However, knowing that we're at the beginning stages and knowing that my platform is not at the beginning stages, you know what I'm saying? I'm not at 200, 300, like if it was a gradual increase as our progress gradually increases, I feel like that would be easier for me to handle, for me to understand. But I feel like the real struggle for me right now is being at the beginner stages in front of 50,000 people. You know what I'm saying? They're watching me begin. So it's like, I feel this pressure of like putting out work that is 50,000 people worthy, you know, like just with all these eyes, like clearly there, not even counting, you know, my family, my friends, and all the outside people that I've talked to throughout the years that I know are watching, but all the numbers right there viewing all this stuff. That I feel like that's been really hard for me. And it's been something I haven't been very much open about until recently, you know, and I came to you and was like, I'm just going to be real. This is really bothering me. And it's hard. It's been hard to deal with because it's not anything that we can do different. It's nothing like, oh, I wish this was like this. Like, obviously, I wish the audio and the visuals were different, you know, like I wish we had whatever equipment and whatever quality. But it really isn't about that. It's just the simple fact of like, I know where we're ending up. I know what I'm capable of doing. I damn sure know what you're capable of doing. And because we're just starting in front of all of these people, like part of me just, I feel like I've been wishing I could just like have started that at 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then when we keep growing, then we keep growing. But it's like, you
How
can't
long
go back.
Have you had 40 plus?
I couldn't even tell you.
It's
been a few months since I was in the 10,000s for a little while. But honestly, it happened so quick. It was like, I went from 10 to 20 to 50, you know, it's like, that's mainly, that's what I be talking about. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. So it's like the whole platform, people look at my number and they be like, oh, she knows what she's doing. No, she doesn't. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm trying to figure out how to even be a content creator, how to walk in my faith more strongly, how to run the podcast, how to be a partner, and trying to figure them all out at the same time. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't necessarily know how I'm feeling in every moment. You got people coming to me for advice left and right, and it's like I'm trying to give myself my own advice. And I'm not gonna lie, I've had to tell a couple people, baby, TikTok is free. You know how many videos I got on there? Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I can't be everybody's counselor. I really can't. I'm trying to be my own.
Yeah.
And I go to God. Like, baby, I need help.
I'm giving you the how to. It's like I can either hold your hand or force feed you.
Yeah.
Or I can give you a source where you can eat by yourself all
Yeah.
the time instead of waiting for me every time you're hungry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My question about the number thing is because though that's been your number and you know that number very intimately, right? Because you watched it grow. People that are just coming across you, don't know who you are.
Trust me, I know.
My point is, they have to see a beginning because they didn't get to see your beginning, and now you have the influence. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know what you're talking about, but they've only seen you in that aspect, right? But when they're seeing you, oh, well, she is human because she's trying to work out this new thing, and now she's actually opening up about it and all this stuff. Now I feel like I'm on the same level.
Right.
I feel like you need that right now in this season. And like, it might be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's the process.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, not everybody has been with you from the jump.
Right.
They're gradually following you. I'm learning that in my own walk, right? Because I'm at the cute little 200, 300 stage, right? But I'm like, okay, I put it out there and people are coming across it because they're meant to see it. Some people don't need to see who Chelsea is when she's hard in the car and talking about all this stuff. They need to see her struggle because that makes you human.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
and trust me, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that, and I appreciate that advice for sure. I think just the struggle of it is knowing that and reminding myself. You know what I'm saying? It's more so just reminding myself, like, this is what, who needs to see this is going to see this. You know what I'm saying? And I know that, but like I said, it doesn't make going to the gym any easier. Not literally going to the gym, but I use that example. Like, it doesn't make the process easier. Like, I still have to show up and remind myself of that every single day. Like, come on, they're going to, put it out there, and who needs to see it is going to see it. Like, and I've been saying that in my head. Like, what did you say? It's just my job to plant the seed. It's just my job to plant the seed. It's just my job to plant the seed. Like, I literally be in my head, like, come on, like, get it together. And not to mention, I'm very hard on I've always been very hard on myself, like, especially when it comes to business purposes. And that's number one on my list, learning to be a partner. Like, I've been single just as a single human for a while, like, when it comes to single parenting, I co-parent, so I'm single by myself. And then when it comes to relationship or when it comes to friends, I was in isolation for a while. I ran a small business by myself. Like, I've been independent for a while. And so learning to be a partner and not just delegating, but also learning to express myself and be like, hey, this is what I'm struggling with, because I don't want it to come off wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm genuinely struggling with this. I'm not trying to be a BI, or I'm not trying to push you off or whatever. But that's been hard.
Yeah,
it's definitely been hard.
And again, that's another push and pull that we have, because I've only ever been in team environments. I work on stuff on my own, so I know how to isolate and get things done. But at the end of the day, I'm at it with a team of 7, or 6. Like, I have multiple personalities I have to adapt to. I have multiple ways of working that I have to adapt to. Some people are type A, and I am definitely not type A. And just adapting. So I feel like it's a good match, obviously,
for
because
sure.
It's the polar opposites.
Yeah.
Because sometimes one thing I've realized I've been struggling in this season of, like, the podcast and everything, is like, I am with so many different personalities every day, including my students. I have 149 students under my name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Including my students, including my team, that sometimes I need a second to just be in silence.
Yes.
I might be at my desk with my headphones, and you still feel energies.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not a healthy energy, you feel everything. So, and then I don't want to take that and bring it here, right?
Right.
I was venting to you earlier about something that I was taking home from work.
Yeah.
And it's different when, I guess, like, I just don't have that alone time much anymore. And when you're absorbing so many different energies all the time, and you're introverted, and you're expected to still deliver, it's a lot of uncomfortable pushing yourself to the limit.
Yeah.
So it obviously is. It makes sense why we're paired up.
For sure.
But it's also, it takes a lot more intentionality of being transparent, communicating it, and getting at a level of ground where there's understanding on both ends.
Yeah.
You know, which I feel like we're pretty understanding anyway. We don't really be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know? But at the same time, like, it's.
And I feel like we're also so connected. Like we've opened up a lot about this too. Like we are very spiritually connected, and it's like even the past couple of days, you felt the heaviness. You know what I'm saying? Like she could feel like not even that. I don't know what she felt, but the way what she said was, you know, I can look. You feel like something's wrong, or I feel like your spirit's heavy. Like what's going on? Like da da da. Like I don't even have to explain it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that makes it easier and harder. It's like bittersweet because it's not that I can fake it.
Yeah.
I can't be like, I think I did. I said it's cool. And I didn't mean it's cool like,
oh,
everything's crazy.
She said it's cool. I was like, it ain't cool.
Yeah. Well, she knows me well enough to know, like, if I say it's cool, it's more so like.
First off, she a writer. So if she's not writing a fucking I'm sorry for the language. If she's not writing a paragraph and hits me with 2 words.
Yeah. That most of the time for me personally, that means I can't talk about it right now. Not even that I don't want to, because I'm an open book, but it's more so like I'm processing it myself. How am I supposed to give these or tell you this if I'm trying to understand it for me?
I feel like we have a real fine line that we have to play with us being so connected, because we do know that energy transfers.
Yeah.
And so sometimes if I know your spirit's off, I'm like, okay, what can I do to be strong in my spirit?
Yeah.
So that it's not pulling us both down.
Right.
It's literally a seesaw sometimes.
Man, it's hard. It's fun, but it's hard. But yeah, alone time is very, very important. We just brought that up. I think I just told you that like a little while before we started filming. But yeah, feeling like I haven't been able to get the proper alone time recently just because we're so busy. You know, she has her workload that she's dealing with. I have my personal business and my workload that I'm dealing with. I got a child. We in the house, you know, so dealing with all the energy that I'm living under as well, on top of all the work that we put in with the podcast. And it's not just filming, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we had to do that, you know what I'm saying, that is included. But feeling like I don't have that structured alone time that I've had for such a while now, that's been difficult. Well, I feel like it's been difficult for both of us. But we pulling through it. Pulling through it.
Back to the, you want me to do what? I just want a nap.
Yeah, that's on my insecurity list. Naps and resting. I've realized recently that I have a bad relationship with rest. Although I prioritize rest when it comes to like the gym, like I always take my rest day. I feel like resting and like sleeping all the time was my coping mechanism when I was very badly depressed. And so nowadays it's like if I take too long resting and I feel like I feel lazy, like if I ever feel that sense of laziness, it like triggers me and I'd be like like I like get scared and I have to hurry up and get up. Like I have to be on go mode all the time to feel. It's exhausting. And it's definitely something that I'm working through. So I'm not saying it as if that's like a trait about myself or anything. It's more so something that I'm dealing with and working through, because I know that that's not right. You know, I know that that's not healthy. But that's why I've been so intentional about prioritizing, like go to the park, sit down, like sit still and clear your head. And so now the past couple weeks where I haven't been able to get that so much, it's more so like been scaring me. Like, am I going to get depressed? You know, depression is scary to me, or the severity of it and how deeply I was in it and how deeply I could go back into it. Like the thought of that scares me a lot. So not getting that proper alone time, I feel like has just been a trigger. Like it's just been scary to think about.
I love naps. I don't like feeling like I like to be productive. That doesn't mean I always have to be on go. It just means that, like for instance, I rarely binge watch shows.
Yeah.
I always want to be learning.
Yeah.
I might be chilling, but I'm learning.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I remember in 2020, I was in that mode where I felt like just anxious about everything. And when I realized, when you and this is gonna go over some people's heads, but who's gonna get it? It's gonna get it. When you prioritize that spiritual health,
Yeah.
everything else falls in line. People want to
Yep.
say it's mental health.
Yeah.
People want to say it's physical health. Those things are also important.
Yeah.
However, think about how much attention those two get rather than spiritual health. Because some people, I mean, we're all spirit. It doesn't matter if you believe in God or not.
Yeah.
You know, you have a soul, right? You have you're a being, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't feel grounded in something, that is going to sway you everywhere.
Yeah.
You know? And so I kind of think of like a hot air balloon. You know, you might have that weight that can keep you grounded, but some people want to keep it in the air, you know? And so I realized prioritizing my spiritual health, however that looked, and I go moment to moment now.
Yeah.
Because I used to want to plan things out, and when I did that and did not meet the deadlines or did not follow the plan that I set for myself, I self-sabotaged and was meaner to myself then because I was a failure.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do what I was supposed to do that day.
Right.
So now I go by my intuition. Okay, what do I need today?
Right.
I can't go to the gym. I have to get sleep. You know, and that's been a huge shift that was life changing for me. So I always knew I use that as a compass. Like, do I feel at peace right now?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
What do I need to get that peace?
Yeah.
Is it more sleep?
Yeah.
Do I have to change up my dieting? Do I have to go to the gym less or more? You know, like what is the case? Need? What do I need? But I'm so I can't be in my head. So I had to detach from that. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff on my plate right now. Running a summer program, writing a class, like my whole career anyway, plus this. And I was leaving my job today and was like, well, time to go to the job that doesn't pay me. It will, but it doesn't right now, you know? So it's like, it's taking all this energy and effort out of me, and I'm not seeing anything coming out of it, right? I can't take life that seriously anymore because I self-sabotage and be like, see, you were more comfortable back there. You might as well just stay, you know?
Yeah.
So I have to take it lightly. And that doesn't mean I take my life lightly, right? But it means that I know that what's supposed to happen will happen when it's supposed to.
Right.
I know that I planted the seed and did what I was supposed to.
Yep.
I won't ever say, obviously, if the situation happens, I'll say it, but I will never be like, oh, well, I didn't do everything I was supposed to do.
Right.
If I'm at peace with whatever I did, I know it was supposed to happen exactly that way. I can't be married to the plan anymore. Because that stressed me out. Right. Especially with anxiety. You can't be married to a plan. I tell my students this all the time, actually, because I had one student, he gave me, I was like, what do you want to do with your life? I'm talking like 2 scrolls, paragraph, right? I'm like, but how married are you to this plan? Yeah. Because if any of these fall through, I see yourself self-destructive. Right. Because you didn't stick to your plan that you think you're supposed to be doing. You're not letting the flow of life come in. Right. It might have better plans than what you have. You might be living a midlife. For sure. You know? Yeah. And that set me free because I feel like we're in a society that forces us to always have to be on go mode. We always have to be working because we have to be able to survive. Yeah. Right? Literally. No. Sometimes you do need that rest. Yes. Take it. You do need that. You have to know what you need. Yep. But you have to acknowledge what you don't have. Yeah. And that's the uncomfortable part.
Yeah. And that's something that really set me free, for real. Like being self-aware to where it's like, I know what I need when I need it. And if I don't know what I need, I know what I need to do to figure out what I need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know who to go to. I know what I didn't know that before. And I think that's what held me back for a long time because I didn't know myself enough to even know, what do you need when you feel like this? What are you even feeling? Can you pinpoint what emotion you have going on? Like most of the time I couldn't because the only emotion I only knew 2 emotions for real. I was sad or I was angry, you know, like besides happy and all the positive ones. But nowadays it's like, you're not angry. You're overstimulated. You might, you know, you haven't had alone time in X amount of days. You haven't been eating properly. Like I can pinpoint exactly what I do in my daily life to why I was feeling the way that I was feeling, you know, and that's what comes with self-awareness. Like when you really sit down and get to learn yourself and know yourself, you know what you need when you need it and you give yourself those things. So now my funks, if we call them funks, they last days.
It's just a mood swing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's more of just
We're gonna be back straight tomorrow.
And I say that, I'd be like, let me cry it out real quick. And I don't mean like I literally sit there and cry. Sometimes I do, but I mean it as in like, and not having to need a full explanation in this text, but let me go take care of myself. Right.
We're human. Allow your emotions to flow, but don't let it set up shop.
For sure.
You know, like be like water.
Yeah.
Actually, my shampoo bottle says that.
Be like water.
Be like water. flow with life or something
That's
like
cute.
that. Yeah. Shout out to Carol something.
Carol something. We don't even know.
Right.
Dang. All right. What else you got? You dealing with anything else?
I'm like, honestly, like, it really is just the magnitude of the things that is on my plate right now. Spiritually and everything, I'm in tune, I'm at peace, I'm accepting it. Like, it's not even like a thing that I'm trying to fight anymore. That's something new for me.
Yeah.
To not be trying to purposely self-sabotage. Now there's some areas where I'm like, that was nice. Do I want to double back? But it's really like, I don't think I can. Right. Even if I try to, I don't think I can.
Yeah.
The person that I am now, it's not even who I'm becoming. Obviously, I'm always going to be becoming, but the person who I am now, right now, I don't think I could ever go back to anything from my past.
No.
And that's so freaking liberating.
No. We just talked about that today, too, because my past came knocking, and we both were cracking up. Like, I literally laughed.
I said, sorry, I don't mean to be laughing.
Yeah,
cackle.
And I know that that's like funny and silly and whatever, but that is a lot. That's heavy for me because I never saw myself out of that.
You probably would have went back in a different mentality.
For sure. Even if I wouldn't have physically, mentally, I would have. Like, I would have been thinking in my head the possibilities of it working out or whatever. There wasn't a single tiny thought in my mind. I was just like, anyways, like that's not at all who I am anymore. And that I needed that though, because it showed me, here we go. Like, it was like another test to like, this is not a test. You can't use that anymore because that is so far away from the person that I am right now. Like, there's no way in hell that I would ever do that.
Right. And fumble what I have coming.
Fumble what I got because it's already mine. Fumble what I got. Never. But yeah, I don't think there was really anything else I felt like I needed to go over. I said I've always been so hard on myself. Just having to adapt so quickly, which I feel like we brought up a few times. Just like we grow so much and we evolve so much and we're working not only on ourselves, but God's working on us so much that it's like every day seems like something else, and evolving and adapting, having to adapt to that so quickly.
Yeah.
Like we just said from this episode, geez, you can't speak. From this episode to last episode, like it's only been a week, and so much be going down in a week that it's like I barely recovered from the last one. Like the last set of problems I was dealing with, or even achievements. Like it's not just problems.
Yeah.
When I say I'm overwhelmed, it's not like, oh, it's all bad things and it's all insecurities. No, I'm overwhelmed with positive things too. Blessings can be just as overwhelming as failures.
Especially if you came from a place where you feel like you were never deserving of it.
Yeah, that's definitely on my list. No, yeah, feeling like you know that you're deserving now, but still, sometimes when you're dealing with all these other insecurities, it can trick your mind into thinking that you're not deserving, and you have to sit there and I have to remind myself every day, like, you're not that person anymore. You do deserve this. And even that comes with that, even that is scary. Knowing that you do deserve it and you're getting it, that the unknown of that, like, I'm not scared of the unknown, as in like, because I know what's to come and I know it's all exciting and I know it's only up from here. I get that. But it's more so, I don't know how I'm going to react to success. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how I'm going to feel when this love does come in, or when the genuine friendships do come in, or when all these things, because I'm used to failing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even failing as in I'm not good enough, but giving up. I'm used to self-sabotaging and running away from all my things and avoiding everything. Like, I know what that feels like.
Right. As you were like talking about that, I realized exactly the moment that my mental shifted.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've been trying to pinpoint it like for the last week. Like, when did I have this mental shift where it's like, what's going to happen is going to happen.
Right.
Because obviously like I've walked a journey where it shows that, right? But it had nothing to do with that. Back in September, I actually lost a friend. She was out celebrating getting her wings for her flight attendant school. Right? So there's even irony there, right? And when she died, she was wearing a shirt that said "C'est la vie," right? And on the same day, I finished the book. If you have not read it, go check out The Alchemist. It's a very liberating book. I can imagine. I read it from a place where I'm like, oh, this is how my life is. So it was on a different perspective as someone who might be trying to find where their life is going, right? So please go check out that book.
What is it again?
The Alchemist. But he used a word. I think it's Arabic. What was it? Am I blanking on it? I wanted a whole tattoo of it. Maktub. 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 And the narrator, I was listening to the audiobook because I was listening to it when I was writing out stuff. And the narrator just kept saying it. It wasn't even in context of the actual book. You just hear Maktub. Kind of like a chime or something. Like, I'm like, what the heck is this word? Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
And I went to go look it up. And it was just as simple as it is written. So I finished this book that reflected a journey that I've literally just walked. And he kept saying Maktub. And then that same night, my friend died. In a shirt that said C'est la vie.
What's that mean?
C'est la vie means like it's such is life. So think of that. Such is life. And what is it, Maktub? It is written. You know, like if it's written in its life, it just comes with it, you know? But you don't have to be married or you don't have to be so stressed out by this moment right now because you're going to get through it.
Right.
You're going to get past this moment. You've gotten through every single moment that you had up until that moment. So what makes this one different?
Exactly.
Such is life.
Yeah.
It is written.
Yeah.
Get the lessons out of it. You know, it's about the journey, not the destination. People get to the destination, they realize, I don't even want this stuff.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's when I had the whole mental shift. And that was just in September. After I started my journey, my 111 challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I feel like that's where my fear of success comes from.
Yeah.
Is what you just said. Like getting to the destination and that not being where I even want to be. You know, feeling like I worked so hard to get to this destination and now I'm not happy. That's not where I want to be. And of course I had to remind myself that God's involved and God wasn't involved before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. I know that. So it's like, it's not even that I feel like I need to reach out to people for advice. I don't need advice. I mean, maybe I do. I feel like we all kind of need advice and guidance. So I don't, deny any of that. But it's more so just reminding myself of that all the time. Like, God is the one leading you. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. I think I was talking to you about that earlier this week, too. It's only Wednesday.
Days be long.
But I was talking about how sometimes I allow myself to be stressed. And I'm like, bro, you're choosing to be stressed.
Yeah.
You know where to go.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh, yeah, I do have this in the back pocket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, that brought up the gym for me. In my head, I just thought about the gym because remember, we both were talking about it recently. We've been in the gym. We never slacked in the gym for real, but we slacked in the gym. Like, I know we both fell off our routine for a minute. And now getting back to that, like I recently had just one of those workouts. It was like, man, like that's what I used to do every day.
It's like, I hate my life today. Wow, I love this workout.
Yes, them good workouts, they be feeling so good. Like you leave the gym just feeling like a whole new individual. Like I feel like all the stress just like, I left it there. But I remember you bringing that up. Like, yeah, I had a really good workout and it felt so good to be back to that. And I'm like, you a lot of times you're slacking, but you don't even realize that you're slacking. You're like falling off, but you're really not. Like that goes back to silent quitting. Like you quit mentally before you quit physically. I'm in the gym, but am I really in the gym? But yeah, I'm glad we got back to our routines.
I actually wake up excited for my 4:00 alarm now.
Yes.
3:30 alarm.
And that's what I'm saying. I had been feeling like that, but I lost it and I didn't realize that I lost it. It was more of a habit. I mean, I still had that habit. Thank God it was still a habit and I didn't fall off. But the excitement and the motivation, like now it's like I get excited for the gym.
And that's to say, along with that, if you did fall off, hey, you already planted the seed of discipline.
That's true.
I told someone that today. She reached out to me because of something that I said, and she said, I really needed this. And I was like, well, I'm glad first off that it spoke to you.
Yeah.
Right? But I told her you planted the seed of discipline already. You know how to get back to it.
Yeah.
You just fell off. Yeah. That is life.
Yeah.
You will fall off.
Yes.
Get back up.
Literally.
Brush your shoulders off.
Man.
Don't brush your shoulders off. Almost made it without a song.
Good job.
I was thinking about a post that I made earlier this week. I really sound like a content creator.
You are a content creator. She is a content creator.
And it was a word that I got on the way back from the gym. That's my favorite ones. And it was like, because you have skin in the game does not take me out of the game. Think of all these people as like, oh, well, you should do it this way. You should do it that way. Well, I think you need to do this. That's cool, but you ain't me. You can't do it like me.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I said at the end of it, it's my time. I put in work for this. Ooh. I did the work for this. I deserve this.
Yes.
And another post. Who am I?
Nika J. You can follow her across all social media platforms.
All social media. I might not add you on Facebook because that's a little weird to me. That's for my family. But anyway, I was talking about how when we wrote our ebook, I had one of the lessons from my 20s, and it was you are capable and you are deserving of living the life you desire. I said it just like that on the podcast, right? And I realized as I was making that video that I was trying to convince myself that I'm deserving of it. I was trying to convince myself that I'm capable of doing it. But now that I'm living it, it's like, it's here, now what?
Yeah.
I deserve it. Like,
yeah.
It's no longer I'm trying to convince myself, I'm walking it out. Like, I deserve this. I put my skin in the game, too. You know?
Yeah.
So,
man, that reminds me of the post I sent you recently, or I think I tagged you in it, because I screenshotted our Instagram messages. We be sending positive posts back and forth all day, like every day, all day. And so I put a little screenshot on and I was like, when me and Nika make it to where we're going, we manifested all this shit. Like, we worked for all this shit. That's the one thing I've been excited about. Like, when knowing where we're headed, but knowing that I deserve every last blessing.
And I'm getting everything with my name on it.
Everything.
You thought I was...
Everything. But before I wouldn't have. I would have been like, I don't deserve that, or I didn't really work hard enough for that. Like, all these negative thoughts would have... No, I deserve every last thing coming to us. Everything. We busted our ass.
That reminds me of it's a very silly illustration, but it's pretty on brand with that. There was like a random... it was during the huge windstorm. I ordered some Chipotle, and me and my cousins were about to go visit my family. And we pulled up, and they were closed because the power went out from the windstorm.
Yeah.
And old me would have been like, well, guess I'm not getting my food.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. I walked up to that door, and
as you should.
Because I saw my bag. It had my name on it, bro.
Yeah.
It had my name on it. That is for me.
Yeah.
So they opened it, and I got that Chipotle.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Like, you put in the work.
Yeah.
I ordered it.
Right.
I paid for it. Ooh, this is a great illustration.
Yeah.
I paid for it, and it had my name on it?
Yes.
Why wouldn't I collect it?
Man, and you waited for it.
And I waited for it. That's a whole word, Chipotle.
I waited for it.
Man.
Oh. Ooh.
And my cousin literally said,
man,
you realize that you wouldn't have done that in the past?
Yeah, no.
I would have settled.
Yeah.
Who got time for settling?
Yeah.
What'd I suffer for? Just to keep suffering?
I would have settled and made excuses. Like, I'd have been like, I really wasn't that hungry.
Yeah.
I didn't really even want it that bad.
This school was only $10.
Yeah. Only $10.
That I paid for.
That's my food.
With my name on it.
I waited for it.
Golly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a great example, because that's exactly, that's a good one.
And my name was the only one on the show.
Ooh.
Y'all should have been quicker than
Say the only one. Man.
What is for you will not miss you.
No, will not.
Like the lashes. My package.
Yeah.
Yo, I had a lot of little God winks is what I call it.
Oh, yeah.
This week been a little intense.
It has. I wonder why.
I feel like I gotta share that with you, y'all.
Let's go.
All right, y'all. Get this. Same windstorm.
Mm-hmm.
That week I ordered some lashes because you know your girl likes to.
Period. Yeah. Go off, queen.
And I think, what was it, 40, 50 mile per hour winds or something like that?
It was a lot.
The power was out.
Ready.
It was
almost shook me, and I'm you're right.
Anyway, so like I said, I was visiting my family, and it got delivered when I got to my family's house in a windstorm. Now, listen, it's an Amazon package with lashes in it. There ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
That was Gone with the Wind.
But that was Gone
My
with
lashes
the Wind.
took off flying.
Yep.
So I'm over here trying to report on Amazon. Amazon gonna tell me, oh, you can't report it till tomorrow. Check back in on Monday. I ain't never been told no by Amazon. First off,
they said not right now.
Y'all need to give me a storefront at this point.
Please give her a storefront.
Man, just give it to me.
Come on.
We gonna make bread.
I'm about to email them. They're gonna be like, you barely use your account.
Anyway, but so I ended up buying them again. Mind you, like the first time I used a gift card, so it wasn't really like I was paying twice, but I ended up buying some, right?
Uh-huh.
But the weird thing is, in the back of my mind, I realize now I always had peace about them. It wasn't like I'm like, dang, like I'm really never gonna see them. Right. I had a peace where I'm just like, I wasn't meant to have them. Right. Well, joke's on me, because last week I got an email from my apartment complex, and they were like, yeah, we got a package for you if you want to come pick it up at the office. Uh-huh. I'm thinking it's this t-shirt that I'm waiting on. Nah, it's the lashes. And God said, what is for you will not miss you, even if it made it to the wrong destination the first time. Ooh. Like, come on up. It had my name on it. I paid for it.
I waited.
I paid for it. I waited.
Oh my gosh, I waited. Those are my lashes.
And it came back. Because they want to be on this space. Just kidding.
Because they was yours.
They were mine with my name on it. I paid for it. And waited. That's 3 weeks. 3 weeks passed and I ended up getting it. That's just a whole word in itself.
It is. It's a whole lesson in itself.
Y'all need us to make a lesson guide for you guys. Kind of break down our illustrations. That might be another book. But y'all gotta get the first one first.
I read that. I skimmed through that one this week. I like to go back and read some of the writings, but it was cool to read yours as well. Like, I'm used to going back and reading my own writing, but to read yours, I was like, okay, it'd be hidden different when you read it a few times. But yeah, our ebook is an instant download. Hindsight is 2020. It's on our website, on our link tree. Mm-hmm. All right, pop quiz.
I guess we're doing a pop quiz.
Yeah, we don't flip our questions.
Who's ever excited for a pop quiz?
If I know the answers, I'm ready to pass that. Give me my A. That's mine. I'm prepared for this A.
I didn't prepare.
Oh, no, I didn't prepare for this either. I'm not ready for this.
That's what I'm saying.
You go first.
I think we need to play rock, paper, scissors.
Come on, don't play me.
Best out of 3.
Yeah, are you going to shoot?
No, I don't shoot.
You don't shoot?
I don't shoot.
You just rock, paper, scissors and just let it fly.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't know if I can even do that. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh. 2 out of 3? Okay. All right. What's my most toxic? Mind you, we pulled these at random. Okay.
She did.
Yeah,
I didn't like the first. Y'all would have been bored with those questions.
What's my most toxic trait I can admit to? Where do I think it stems from? Y'all better be answering these too.
Y'all better be taking notes.
What's my most toxic trait that I can admit to? Oh, I have to answer first? No, you answer first.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So allow me my time to think about this.
Take your sweet time, child.
And all I'm saying is you cannot say ditto.
Don't use mine then.
To avoid the question.
Don't use mine.
What's my toxic trait?
That you can admit to.
That I can admit to.
And where do you think it stems from? Let me think about mine while you thinking.
So I have like a safe answer.
Uh-huh.
But obviously I'm not going to go with that, I guess. But I'll mention it.
Okay.
My safe answer is assuming everybody thinks or has the same intention as me.
Ooh.
What was the second part?
Where do you think that stems from?
Well, I think actually this could be my answer. It's not really. Yeah, we're gonna go with this one.
That didn't seem very surface level to me. That seemed pretty
for
deep.
Me that felt surface
right,
level.
But I mean just in general. Say it again. What was it?
What was the question again?
Wow. What's the most toxic trait you can admit to, and where do you think it stems from?
Oh, believing that other people have the same intentions and heart as me or something like that. What did I say?
Yeah.
Y'all tell me. Where do I think it stems from? People pleasing. I always felt like I needed people please. And this daddy issues, it's a lifelong lesson. But I felt like I always had to overcompensate because I shared before that I would say we had completely different love languages. So I felt a lot of neglect because my love languages weren't being touched on.
Yeah.
So I always did above and beyond to try to make him proud of me.
Mm.
So I think assuming that people would see that I'm a good person and overcompensating on like trying to. Am I making sense?
Yeah, to me.
Okay. Overcompensating and trying to make them see
Yeah.
my worth. So
Yeah.
all of this comes from my daddy issues, honestly. You would hope that someone would have the same intentions or heart as you, but not everyone's stemming from that. Some people are stemming from survival mode.
Right.
You know,
a lot of people
and
are.
obviously that looks different person to person. My survival mode was I have to be loved by this person.
Yeah.
Right? Or else I'm by myself. That's
Yeah.
scary. But someone else might be, I have to be closed off because if I'm vulnerable, they're going to be able to hurt me again.
Right.
You know, so
right.
it's all about perspective and everything. But I'd say that's my toxic habit.
Well, that was a good one. I enjoyed it.
Didn't see that coming. You were listening to me and not thinking about yours?
Yeah. I've been working hard on that, actually. That probably was my toxic trait before. Like, always trying to come up with a response before, instead of, like, actually genuinely listening to what the other person says. But I've overcome that. See how much I just listened to you? So I would say currently, I would say loving other people more than I love myself. And I think that that stems from just watching. It's not that I don't know the answer. I don't know how to say it without calling people out.
I feel like it's like a hand in hand with my question.
Oh jeez. Watching other people love so openly. What? Oh, I forget what your question even is. Watching other people love so openly and not openly love themselves out loud. And I feel like watching that growing up, it kind of made me feel like being a good person was loving other people and never really knowing the importance of loving me.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's as deep as I'm gonna go with that one.
Well, I think this question is gonna take you to another level.
All right. What you got?
What did the people who raised me teach me about love? What lessons do I want to keep? And what do I want to challenge? Ooh,
All
that
right.
was.
All right. This one's hard. I feel like it's hard when you're talking about the people that raised you because a lot of disagreements can be seen as disrespectful. Or in my head it is. But I do want to mention, I don't think that they intentionally taught me anything that was not like helpful. I think it more so was my perspective of everything. So the way that I viewed it, or the way that I saw it, or the way that I learned.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me the question again?
What did the people who raised me teach me about love? What lessons do I want to keep? And what do I want to challenge?
Sorry, I hope that didn't take that up on the mic. I would say the people that raised me taught me about love that. Can you answer first? Okay. This one's really hard for me to speak on, and yeah. I'll do it. I feel like it's hard for me to speak on because I value my parents very much, and I don't ever want to come across ungrateful because I had the best childhood that I could have. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like pinpointing certain toxic things is almost just like petty. Like, you know what I'm saying? You had the best that you could have had. So I'm very grateful to my parents, but I would say it kind of goes along with what I was saying, which is how I see what you're saying. But love is giving yourself to another person. I think I learned that through my parents, through how they loved and through how they loved us and each other. That loving somebody is openly giving every part of you to another person. And I say that I would challenge that simply because I don't feel like I can fully love another person if I don't love myself. And so I don't think growing up, I can't really pinpoint when I was taught that you need to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the relationship like with yourself? What is the relationship like with my parents individually, as individuals, not just in their marriage? You know, they celebrated 25 years. Like, my parents have been together, you know, and but history and longevity of everything is not love. That is not what defines love. And I'm not saying that they're not in love, and I'm not questioning their marriage. Just in general, longevity and history and all these things, that's not what makes a relationship thrive. That's not love. That's more so history. So I guess I would challenge that aspect, and that's the best way I can put it without speaking too much or coming off disrespectful.
Right. I think most recently, like in the most recent years of my life, I've grown a new appreciation for my parents. One, because reflecting on who I was at 19 and 21,
yeah,
I wouldn't even been able to pull off what they pulled off, right? As I am a healed version of myself, I can see where if I say, what did the people who raised me teach me? Being sacrifice, I could see how it would have felt like negative growing up. You know, my mom was a single mom. She did have to work a lot, et cetera, et cetera. But as a healed place, I'm like, sacrifice is love, you know, in a sense. I'm not saying sacrificing who you are or parts of you, right? But I'm talking about like, there's some things that both my parents experienced that I had no idea about until recently.
Yep.
And to be able to see them as human, and be able to see them healing themselves and doing that work, well, my mom, has been like really eye opening for me. So I now see sacrifice as like a deeper meaning than just like, oh, she sacrificed a couple of my soccer games because she had to work. You know? Now it's like, yo, she sacrificed like relationship. She sacrificed like some things that could have really changed her trajectory of her life, her viewpoint of life, for me. And that's a different kind of love. It hits a little different. What lessons I want to keep? I think I can see that in myself now. You know, my family doesn't realize that a lot of my sacrifices came from this journey that I've been walking these last few years, and allowing myself to sacrifice my temporary emotions in those fleeting moments so that they can have a relationship with God, so they can see what faith is. I feel like that's ultimate love that I can offer them. Like, I'm giving them a key or a real life example, not so much like a biblical what someone else taught me, like a real life, like, yo, I did not believe in God 11 years ago, at all. You know, and now I'm teaching people how to. So I do want to keep that. One thing that I would challenge, and this is on a broader scope of my family, not just like immediate family, which is settling. I don't believe you have to settle to love someone. And I feel like you are not loving someone if you are settling.
I don't believe you have to settle to love someone.
Because if I have to settle from what I believe my life can be, you don't love me to allow me to do that. You know, I see a lot of empty shells of people in my family. To put it just as plainly as it is. They're living to pay bills. They're living to temporarily turn up here and there. They're living to sleep their lives away. Life is so much bigger than that. So I want to challenge living a place of life, because I don't think a place you see is a place where you can find love.
Jesus. Living for the weekend. I always lived for the weekend. I always watched everybody else live for the weekend. Counting down the days till the day off.
For 2 days and be right back to where you don't want to be.
That's sick.
That's a lot of wasted days.
That's way too many wasted days. Everybody wants to teach us how life is so short, yet they're like, hey, go live miserable because life is so short. But, on 2 days a week, you'll be able to live good. Even on those 2 days, you don't even live good because, first of all, you most of the time, they ain't got the money to live good or live as they want to. and they're exhausted from the work week because their job is so draining and miserable.
And they're escaping their realities. I want you to love your reality.
Yes.
I might be tired, but I love my reality. My reality feels like a dream.
Yes.
You know, and I wouldn't go through every single thing I've ever experienced that got me to this point.
Yeah.
All over again. But you have to face your truths head on. You can't just be like, man, this happened to me in '83 and it's just who I am.
No.
You don't get that motherfucking lesson.
Right. It's not just who you are, it's who you've chosen to be. That's who you're choosing to. Exactly.
Jinx, you owe me something.
What did you want to hear?
Ooh, one of the 50 pens. Just kidding.
That's a good one too. So you don't even deserve it now. All right. Any last words you want to mention?
I think that's a wrap.
My lips so dry. I'm sorry.
Fenty Beauty. Sponsor you, girl.
I'm done.
Riri.
Oh, all right. Well, you can find me at All Things C-Win.
All Things C-Win.
Across all social media platforms. Where can they find you, Nika?
You can find me at Nika J Commodore. That's Nika J Commodore COMMODORE.
Nika J Commodore. You can find us at The Ironic Pod. You can listen to our episodes on Spotify and YouTube, and you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We gotta get on that TikTok now. We're gonna do some TikTok challenges. Did you tell them about your 111-day challenge?
I did not. I dedicated 111 days of progression. So that means moving my body at least 15 minutes a day. That means reading at least 10 pages of a book. That means watching some kind of something that's going to teach me on the hustle that I want to do. What am I missing?
I don't know.
Oh, and 10 minutes of gratitude.
Oh, yeah. I've been following it, y'all. I really should.
Day 4.
Yep. Yeah, so if anybody wants to join in on the challenge, she just told y'all.
I post it every morning, so follow me on social media and, on Instagram. I usually post it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you can get the little screenshot of your plan.
Yeah. What about YouTube? Are you going to get a YouTube channel?
Told to.
It's not in the plans yet? Nope. I feel that. All right, that's a wrap. We're going to see y'all next time.